What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Mighty Show. And I am bringing in my crime syndicate partner, Sheldon.
I am here. How's it going?
Going good, kid. It's going good.
Shit. I couldn't keep it together. I knew it was gonna happen. I just couldn't keep it together. Oh Lord.
It's okay. Speaking of Dart, he's a good kid too, you know? You did good, Dart. You did good, kid. You're coming on,
Darth.
supporting us. Appreciate it. Everybody out there, hit the like, subscribe button. Be a good kid. Do it. You don't want the Maronis or the Falcons coming after you. Come on. That's nonsense here.
Beard.
Yeah, mine's a little ripe here.
Yeah, mine's a little unkempt. I gotta clean this up.
This is me not shaving. I haven't shaved.
Yeah, I haven't done much either. A little trimmy.
Yeah, wife's like, what are you doing?
I gotta clean that shit up.
She's not a beer person. But it is what it is. So neither is this guy in the middle between us,
Mm-hmm,
he shares all the time. They gotta look good for the ladies, Woo! Episode 5 just finished. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But listen, we're gonna be talking about all things from episode 1 to 5 and then beyond, our theories. But the title does say the Penguin problem for DC. It's a problem, and we're gonna talk about it towards the end of the show. Why it's a problem. You've got some things to talk about, and I've got some things. So it's gonna be a problem. So, but this show right now, it's a work of art,
Stellar.
It's like mom's meatballs. It's good. It's very good.
It's like Uncle John's Pizza down at the corner,
A good vino. Good vino. Good vino. But I gotta tell you, I wasn't sure what the show was gonna be. When I first heard about the show, I'm like, oh man, we've done this where there's no Batman and you try to shoehorn a show just to get some audience out of it. We saw the Gotham TV show, which I did not like. A lot of people did like it.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was okay to get the curiosity of what's going on here, and then after, I'm like, if it's not in Batman's not in it, I just really don't care too much.
Yeah, I think I fell off after season 3, and I
think I did the same thing,
in and out of watching, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't care about young Catwoman, young Penguin. No offense to all the people that acted in there. They probably did their best, but I don't know. It's just something about it. I was like, I don't care.
We also had, at some point, the young Bruce Wayne was doing Batman stuff before he was an adult, and I was like, my buddy was telling me that, and I was like,
that kind of stuff irks me.
It's dumb. It's really dumb.
It's because they're trying to pull you in for ratings because they know that show's kind of slipping away.
Yeah,
so we'll throw this in there to get you back and going the oh shit moment, and I'll go back in there again and stick around for another season. To their credit, they did stick around for what, 5 seasons? I want to say
something like that. Yeah.
Well, hey, they had an audience, right? So good on them.
It spoke to people. It did. Yeah.
Not to me, but others did, and it stuck around for 5 years. And a show sticks around for 5 years, they've done something right.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
But you have other shows, and I started digging into seeing as to why they don't have Batman in these TV shows anymore. And I got some good real information. I got some fake information. So I didn't know, but it was it's so muddled. I don't really know now because I did see a video. I cannot remember the YouTuber who did the research and said that it's because a studio owns it, the Batman rights. Walt Disney owns Batman's TV rights, and therefore DC Warner Brothers can't put a TV show with Batman in it,
like a live action Batman.
Yeah, live action. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
There's a subsidy, a small company that DC bought. Well, small. I don't know exactly the name, but they bought it out a while ago, and that company had the rights for live action TV Batman. So Disney absorbed that company into their big portfolio.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true or not. A lot of people say it's bullshit. It's not true at all.
Right.
James Gunn, I think, was even asked that on X, and he said it's bullshit.
Okay.
So, but I like I said, if that's bullshit, then why haven't we seen a TV show with Batman
at all?
in it?
Well, I'd also ask, I mean, the CW, when they were doing their Arrowverse stuff, they had Batman villains kind of hopping in there, but no Batman. And if that were true, like why they could have utilized it. They use Superman or variations of Superman, but and they also
I don't get
used
it.
Kevin Conroy as old Bruce Wayne, but not Batman.
Even in the Nightwing show, what's it called?
Oh, the Titans.
The Titans. That was a great show. Season 1 was fantastic. Season 2 was not bad, but season 1 was probably my favorite season, and then it went off the rails.
I couldn't watch much of season 2. It felt it got I don't know what happened from
It got
season 1 to
weird.
season 2. It was very off.
Yeah,
Like all the strides they made in season 1, it completely just dropped off
it
in
was the
season 2.
beginning of the end for that show. Some of the decision they decided to go with in that show was the beginning of the end. The decision to bring Batman in there was fine, but the decision to cast an actor who's like in his 60s was not fine with me.
Oh, is that what they did?
Yes, he was Khaleesi's right-hand man in Game of Thrones.
Oh, that guy. Oh, they got that guy to play Batman? Ew.
And he was already in his 60s, I think, at the time.
And balding.
Oh, he was definitely bald. But they brought him as Bruce Wayne, and I'm just like, there's a 30-year gap between Bruce and Dick.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be a 30-year gap, maybe 20, but not 30.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Yeah. And it just is like, it was such a weird decision, but I'm like, whatever, at least we get Batman. So they did have Batman don the suit, but it was like a silhouette. You could never see a clear version of him.
Yeah, no.
And
it kind of reminded me a little bit of like the video game series Batman, the Arkham series Batman is what it kind of felt like.
Yeah. And I just thought it was just, chance to, like, who doesn't want to see Batman interact with Robin or Nightwing or even the villains and street level villains? Who doesn't want to see that? Everybody wants to see that, right?
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because I feel like we've only ever had 2 depictions of his sidekicks happen, and that was with Adam West Batman, and then when they did the Val Kilmer Robin Batman, and then George Clooney.
O'Donnell, right? Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, O'Donnell. Yeah. And that's the only time we ever saw Robin in live
I was
action.
so excited when I saw him.
Yeah.
O'Donnell on the suit. I was so excited because
really
I love
cool.
that the Batman Robin thing. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that watched the reruns of the old 70s Batman. I watched that, and as corny as it was fun. I enjoyed watching. I'm like, this is so cool, right? And to see a modern version of that happen, I giggled. Like, I literally giggled when that happened, right? The movie wasn't that great, but I was just like, I don't care. I got Robin in my show.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
it all went downhill once they introduced the nipple suits, man.
Yeah, it just really did. Nipplegate. But
the nipple.
Having said all that, this show has broke a lot of boundaries, like really pushed my my expectations. I was going in really low with this show. I'm like, sure, Colin Farrell as Penguin, I like it a lot, right?
Yeah.
How good is this going to be? It's going to be another show where you're going to wonder where Batman is, and you're going to keep asking. And thank God they said at the beginning that it's only a season one episode thing. I mean, sorry, one season thing. And we're just going to kind of fill in the gap between the 2 movies that we're doing here, right? So I'm like, cool, okay. It keeps me interested, keeps me in the loop of what's going on in Gotham, because this takes place like literally a few hours after the movie ends.
Yeah.
Right. So that was good. It didn't take a year later because I don't care. No. Right. So the fact that you dropped me in right away when the floods happen, cool. Right. And we know Colin can act, and we love the Penguin character that he's, developed himself. He's not stealing from anybody else.
Nope.
He's not stealing from Danny DeVito.
Nope.
He's definitely not stealing from the 70s Penguin.
Right? He's not stealing from Gotham either.
Definitely not. That I don't know what that was, but anyways, so he's crafted his own version of Penguin, and I want to say this is on the level of Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah, you've
Of
mentioned
the
that to me
best
before.
version, in my opinion, like I know
Mhm.
everybody will argue that till the cows come home, but in my version, if I was to pick the best version of Joker and Penguin of all the versions,
Mhm.
it's Colin Farrell as Penguin and it's Heath Ledger as Joker for me. 1 and 2 right there.
Gotcha.
Those are my 2 guys that I would start off with a live action movie if I was to do it on my own.
Makes sense. Yep.
And can you imagine the ferocity to deal with both of these guys at the same time?
So, yeah. Well, I like it because Heath Ledger's Joker is like chaotic, and this dude, he's like a
Straight gangster.
he's like a what they call a lawful evil. You know what I mean? Like he has his rules, but the shit he does is not okay. You know, like there's a code he goes by. So yeah, like it'd be a very interesting universe if those two could come together. If Heath Ledger was still alive, would be
Yeah.
pretty damn awesome.
Rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
So this when I started watching it, and I said to you the first episode, it was good. I'm like, hey, this Victor kid,
Not a fan of him. I
not
know
a
you weren't.
fan. Maybe
Yeah.
LeBron, and somebody in the chat's like, hey, you idiots, he exists in the comics. Fair enough. I never said he doesn't exist or exists in the comics. I wasn't arguing that. What I was
Right.
saying in myself is this another attempt to just have diversity in the show just for the sake of it, shoehorn a character in there because of his ethnic background, or
Mhm.
is this character gonna have some chops, right? Is it gonna be worth inserting in there?
You got the
And
chops, kid. You got the chops.
I gotta say, after 5 hours, you did good, kid. You
He
did good,
did.
Victor. You
He
did good.
did.
You're
Yeah.
in my books. You're a
I told
made
you,
man.
man. I told you you'd like him.
It-
I from the get go
I agree.
absolutely like this kid.
Yes, I totally concede on that. You did good. You're in the good books of me. You're a made man. So Victor is all in. Victor is all in, and his character is just skyrocketing upwards in the decisions he's making,
Mhm.
the acting that he has. Was it
Yeah.
Renzi Filez? I am butchering that name for sure.
Oh, yeah. His name is
Re,
kind of hard to say. I don't know how you'd say that.
Rehenzi. Anyways,
Felice.
sure.
Sure. People just
I don't want to screw it up anymore, right? Anyways,
That's fair.
he's great. He's
Yeah.
definitely gotten better every
Mhm.
episode. I think I think there also was like when they were first writing the story, it's like, hey, let's slowly bring this character into the fold, let it grow slowly. He's got his own side story going on now, right?
Yeah. This is
And
do you remember on when we did the popcorn chicken on Thursday, I was like side characters are becoming a thing now, you know? This is that example where you actually care about that side character now. Yeah.
my biggest other problem was Sophia Falcone. There's another
Oh.
thing that I don't like is when they insert female characters into movies and TV shows and make
Oh,
them too perfect.
got you. Yeah,
Right?
I
They make them
understand.
invincible, unbreakable, no issues, no problems.
Ray
And
Skywalker.
yeah, like they're perfect. They can do no wrong, right? And they always belittle men. And I'm
Yeah.
sick and tired of that stuff because we see it everywhere. Well, guess what?
Mhm.
They don't do it here.
No,
This is a fractured character.
which was really well done.
And the acting chops again.
On Christine Milioti, she's
Just kiss.
she's
Just
peak.
kiss.
She's what the kids call peak.
She's got a future, kid. You got a future. You got a future. And you already have the main guy, Colin, who is obviously an A-list actor who can do it all,
Mhm.
right? And he's showing here that I could be in a fat suit and kick ass.
Yes.
And he's doing it. And it's just nice to see a supporting cast that's also just as good.
Yes.
Where he's not the one putting him on the shoulders and leading them to the next
No.
episode, to the
He's
fun.
got a wonderful supporting cast for sure. I don't know
Ah.
how they found these guys to fit these roles, but they did, man.
The casting coaches or people that make the decisions here, oh man, hats off to you guys. You found some diamonds in the rough.
Mhm.
And it's just not just those guys. There's more. There's Theo Rossi, the doctor that we get introduced to in
What's
episode
his
4.
name? Dr. Julian? Was
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
Julian Rush.
Yes.
Dr. Julian Rush. He's an actually good actor. I've seen him in a TV show called Sons of Anarchy.
That's why he looks familiar.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
from there. Yeah. So he's from there. And then Michael Kelly, who's been on tons of shows like House of Cards. He was in the new Transformers
Yeah.
G.I. Joe movie. Yeah,
Yep.
he's been in a ton of stuff. So he's
That dude's
always
I like his
seasoned.
act
He's a
style.
seasoned vet.
Yes. Yeah, he plays a really good bad guy. Yeah.
He's so good.
He's
He's so
really
good.
good at it.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him. I thought he's really good. Episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 were just going on a steady incline.
I want to pick your brain on episode 4 a little bit.
Okay, so here
Yeah.
I want to talk about this too. You and somebody else was like blowing their minds over it.
Chris. Yeah.
And I sat down and watched episode 4 expecting my mind to be blown. It wasn't. It wasn't. I don't know what you guys were smoking.
What do you mean?
I don't know what you guys are smoking.
What do you mean?
Hold on, let me finish. It wasn't that good.
Tell me why.
It was great.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I walked into that one. God,
It was great.
God damn. I was about to flip. I was about to flip everything. I was about to walk off.
He's about to turn off the mic and camera and leave.
Oh God. I was like, there's no way he didn't find it great, man. There's no way. Oh God.
It was
it was great. It was I would say so far it's probably the best episode in this season.
Okay, so as great as it was, would it have been nice to maybe get a cameo from Bruce Wayne?
It would have. But at that point though, it probably would have taken away from that episode. Because then that's all people are talking about. Oh, Robert Pattinson made a freaking appearance in the Penguin.
You're right.
You know? No.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
He would have taken away.
I was looking to see maybe even when I mean, obviously, hey AI, how you doing? So I did warn everybody, spoiler alert to everybody. Would you have been upset if they showed some cameos of people in Arkham?
No.
Because I was looking for that.
I would not have been upset. I think it would have been pretty cool. Well, they kind of did. The Magpie girl. Apparently, I had to look it up. I had to know.
We're gonna go that road.
I had to. She is a DC character.
Yeah, I know, I know, but I just like how many people are going. Can I get a Magpie figure? Nobody went to More McFarlane and said, "Give me a Magpie figure, damn it!"
Fair,
right? But fair, I hear you. But you're going back to what you're saying that you don't want to take away from the performance that was happening.
Yeah,
and if we did these little remember Barry moments, we would all just talk about that instead of the performance.
True.
So I'll give you that. That's your favorite episode, correct?
I would say so. I mean, the other 3 have not.
Of the 5, of the 5,
yes, that one so far is my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. That's my second favorite.
Oh.
The favorite is episode 5.
Okay.
And it's because of the focal point is always going to be on the Penguin, right?
Yes.
Because that's the title of the show. Right? Mm-hmm. So I just thought that episode 5 really flushed out what's going to happen to the Penguin in the next few episodes here. Like this is going to take him to legendary status.
Yes.
And we'll talk about the end part of the show where I'm like, oh yeah.
This is where he gets his comeuppance.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Right. So to me, this was my favorite episode, but episode 4 was very close. Like, I mean, a whisker away from being, I just think that this show should get some recognition for awards.
Oh, I would hope so, man.
If it doesn't, that's some BS.
Because it's that whole comic book trope of, oh, Hollywood doesn't want to recognize them, right?
AI says they don't need Batman. They're killing it with the series. I hope that hitting the landing. I hope they hit the landing because this has me even more excited for the next
I
Batman
agree.
movie.
I agree.
So we're gonna talk about it, AI, in the later towards the end of the show. We're gonna talk about the pros and cons of this show happening. There are cons of the show being.
I'm so curious as to what your
good.
thoughts are.
This good. And we'll get into it in the okay. Let's talk about this episode. Let's dive into episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got going on at the beginning? We got the car, the Maserati.
He set it on fire. That made me sad. I was gonna cry. I wanted to cry, dog.
He should set it on fire. That car is trash.
How do you just set a Maserati on fire, though, dude?
Do you know Maseratis have one of the worst resale values?
Really?
Yeah. They
damn.
depreciate over 60% in less than 5 years.
Is it because they're made in India?
No. What? They're not. No, Maseratis are horrendous for engineering.
Okay.
They have a lot of issues, and so about a good chunk of it loses its value.
Oof.
You paid $100,000, it's probably going to be worth like $40,000 by year 5.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not that great.
So him burning it was a smart move to collect on that insurance.
The guy's a genius. What can I say, you know? Forgot about it. So yeah, lights it on fire. Our boy Victor comes back to him, and that was a gruesome crash that he did with that guy in front of the bus.
He messed that dude up. That dude
he ain't walking anymore.
Nah.
That guy's doing the Professor Xavier now.
Yeah, Victor came in the clutch for Penguin, man.
So they got the boys to come pick him up in the eco van, right?
Yep.
And he's convincing them to, hey,
stay with me. Yep.
Like the street level thugs. You need those street level thugs.
You do
to make that money. So, and we'll touch on that later on about what our girl Sophia says to her street level thugs, which I thought was pretty cool.
It was kind of similar how they attracted, eh? Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Like Oz, his thing was like, they don't even know your name. I know you. I was like, speaking to the people. I understand your ploy. I get it.
Yeah.
It's a good way. It's a good way to attract people, man, because people want to feel important.
Oh, absolutely. You have to sweeten the pot, right? You have to massage your workers.
Yes.
Right. So, and he's doing that. And he's great at it too, right?
Yeah.
He's even great at massaging his seniors, his more upper echelon people that he's worked with. He has no loyalty to nobody but himself. Right? There's nobody else he gives a shit about except for his mom.
His mom. Yeah. I was gonna, Yep.
But even then, I have a feeling she's gonna get popped.
You know, I'm inclined to agree with you because you've kind of seen that trope of a mom before in shows where all they do is they badger that one child. They love them, and then the minute there's any sort of failure or disappointment, one time, forget multiple times, just one time, they shit on them so hard. They make them feel like absolute crap.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that here because there is a moment where they have that little conflict, right? So he opens TikTok, of course. I mean, I wonder how much TikTok paid HBO for that. Opened up TikTok. Should have really made all the government officials really happy in the US to see that. TikTok opens up and he shows Falcone's son.
No, Maroney's.
Sorry, Maroney's son. Falcone's son's already dead.
Yeah.
Maroney's son, was it? I can't remember the gentleman's name, but anyways, shows him being an idiot kid, and he's like, let's go just get this kid. How easy this is. Let's just get him. And so they do. They go to a tattoo store,
and they unleashed hell.
and he's got the headphones on, and all you just see bodies flying, pop, 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 bullets flying everywhere.
I
By the
really
time
like that direction they did with that scene. In the background, it's all blurred out, but people are getting blasted while this dude is just
blood and
rocking out the
bullets
music.
flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And so basically he kidnaps them, right?
Mhm.
I liked how Victor got a little dirty too, huh? Victor in the alley.
Yeah, he went after him.
Well,
He he
he got a couple of licks in him, right?
Yup, yup. I was
Yeah,
like, "Okay, my boy Victor, let's go, buddy. You
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it. Put
Victor
it in
getting
the work."
dirty there. He's getting acclimated with this whole world that he's now
Yes.
entrenched in.
Yep.
Before he was very like, I'm just gonna do a couple of things for you, and then I gotta go. I gotta go. Oz, like I've helped you, and I've been on true to you, and I gotta leave now. But now it's just like,
Yep.
no, fuck it, because he ditched his girl at the bus.
Yeah,
That was
that
cold. That was
I feel
cold.
like that hurt him a lot because he was like he loves her, but he also wants to make something of himself, and it's just like, he doesn't know what to do, but he made his choice.
I don't know. I think it's that he was like, I've got to look after for myself first, because if
First.
I can't do that, how the hell am I gonna look after anybody else,
Yep.
right? And so he ditches her, and it's sad, but I just think in my opinion, I think he made the right move,
Mhm.
because I
I
need him to
agree.
go on and get popped at the end.
Yep. Damn,
I
dude.
got my
Oh,
predictions. I think he dead. The
okay.
Mama Penguin dead, right?
Okay. Okay.
Those are my two predictions. Show ends with both of them dead.
Okay. Interesting. I'll agree with the mom for sure. Victor, I think he's gonna be sticking around with him for a while.
I said the show. I didn't say the season.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I wanted to make it
Interesting.
very clear.
Gotcha.
Um, and we'll talk about why I think show instead of season. This is the inherent problem. Okay, so we've got the Maroni's son captured, and he goes
Yep.
to the Maroni in prison,
Yep.
and it says to Maroni, like, his wife. Why is his wife there at the same time? Did they plan this?
I
Did he
think
know?
so. Yeah,
Okay,
she seems to be quite involved with her husband's work,
and
you
she's
know?
been in a lot of TV shows herself.
Yeah, she has.
I don't know if that's a natural voice or she's a heavy smoker, because it's really awkward to
It is
listen
a
to.
it is a unique voice. I don't think I've ever heard that kind of.
You, I hate you. Where's my son? That's the voice right
And the
there.
accent is interesting too. Like, I don't even know where that's from.
I think she's Persian.
Oh, is she? Okay. Okay.
Well, she's played a lot of characters that were Persian. Like I remember, she was in 24 with
Okay.
Jeff,
Yep.
so Jack Bauer. So she was playing a Persian character in there, but she's done a lot. She's been in what else? There's been so many other shows she's been in part of. We've got hey Sean, how you doing? It's my cousin Sean saying hi.
Oh, okay.
So she's there, Maroni's sitting there, and Oswald walks in. I'm gonna make you an offer you cannot refuse.
Give me
Uh,
back my goddamn shrooms. That's what he wants. He's like, I want them.
I want my shrooms, right? And you get your son back. And the mom's like trying to fight back. I'm like, what mother says no? Just do it. Who cares? It's your
Yeah.
son.
She's like,
Anyways,
to her dude, we can't trust him. It's not gonna happen. And he's like, yeah, obviously. Like, what are you dumb? Like, of course we can't trust him.
he
He's a
backstabbed
snake.
us, of course, duh.
Yeah.
We just need our son back. Who cares? Let's take the
Yeah.
shrooms, right? And so, and I was like, I just want to make a deal. Do we have a deal or not, right? And I like the part that when he's leaving, he hands a little, bunch of cash on the side to the guard and goes, the guy in the green jacket, right? And I was just like, oh, is this guy slick or what? On the way out, has another plan up his sleeve, just like,
Mm-hmm.
boom, here, I'm going to drop this too. So crafty, so genius. And so we all know what's going to happen later on in the episode. we have the assassination of Maroney, right?
Yep.
The attempted assassination of Maroney. We'll circle back on that. Now we're on the other side of the fence. We're on Sophia. In the
The
last episode,
Falcone massacre.
we saw her poison everybody and basically kill off the entire family except for two people,
Yeah.
Johnny and the daughter of
Her
her,
cousin.
yeah, Carla.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we see that police all over the place. There, news breaking out, and Penguin sees the news too as he's leaving. Do you remember?
Yep.
He looks at he's like, "Oh, okay." And part of me wants to say that he's planned this indirectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I kind of
she
agree with that.
says, right? She says to Maroney later on in the show, this is what he wants.
Yeah. Yeah. And doesn't he kind of say, I maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought he said this was kind of part of the plan to wipe a major player off the board. And he did, even though it wasn't him, it still happened.
Well, he played her like a fiddle, right? She basically has no choice
Yeah.
but to wipe them all out.
Yeah. She said she didn't trust him, but she did kind of trust him.
Well, she didn't know all the details, but she had no choice either, right? Because nobody in her family gave a shit about her.
No. They all turned against her. Her own
They
father
turned
turned
against her when she went into prison in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's why all those years she's had a resentment against all of them. And that's why she believed him, Oz, more than anybody else, because he was just like, you were my driver. I trusted you. You're the only one that actually gave a shit about me.
Yep.
And so she believed him when he said, I didn't kill your brother. Because they had that relationship because he was her driver.
Yep.
Right? So she gave him the benefit of the doubt over her family.
He really convinced her well. Like,
oh, brilliant.
Yeah. Mastermind of manipulation.
That's what makes him so dangerous. People know not to trust him, but they still trust him because he puts them in a position where they have no choice.
No choice. That, and I also feel like they still undermine him
because of his weakness.
Yeah.
Who's this chubby, walking, awkward type of guy? What's he getting? He's not a threat to us.
Not at all.
He's just a lackey.
Yeah.
And he's used that to quietly ascend himself to the top of the food chain.
And
keep undermining me. Keep thinking I'm nobody.
Well, that's Penguin's whole shtick, right? Even from the comics, he's just a short, stubbly dude.
Yeah,
what kind of threat is he? Yeah.
And then he pulls out his umbrella and just starts shooting bullets.
Do you think they're gonna give him an umbrella in here?
No, I don't. Well, they gave him a cane. Remember, they gave him a cane in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I was expecting the sword to come out of that.
Yeah. Or some sort of sharp object coming out. Yeah.
Or even just a one-shot kind of bullet.
The cane gun?
The hand just breaks off and it's the one shot. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't need AK-47 or anything like that. Just a one shot, right?
That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all. Right in the kisser right here. Right in the kisser. But so she basically is, just hell-bent on not only the family now. Since the family's out of the way, she's turning her attention to Oswald because he's the only one left that she has to take care of.
The only threat that's left. Yep.
Exactly. And so she basically gets her. It's funny how in the last episode when she was in trouble, she calls her therapist. What's the therapist?
Yeah, it was her
psychologist.
Therapist. Yes. Yeah.
And he shows up to rescue her because when she woke up, she's like looking at him. I'm like, oh, he's the one that came and picked her up, right?
He's been pretty loyal to her,
which is interesting because at the end you see that, right? He's like, hey, I want to be part of this.
Yeah. Right? And we still don't know much about him except for that he's just a doctor that I think just fell in love with her. That's what I'm thinking.
Or fascinated with the whole crime mob thing. You know, I might just be a fan of it all.
Could be. Yeah.
Watch too many Sopranos and Godfather movies, right?
Yeah.
So you think I have a chance? You got a chance. You got a future. You got a
On
future,
this,
right?
on the day of my daughter's wedding.
I just
Yeah.
want to be a made man, you know. So, uh, so we're sort of in the middle of this whole episode, and we've got this team Penguin versus
Yep.
team Sophia. What's her a new name now?
Gigante.
Gigante. So which side are you on? Team Penguin or Gigante? Right
I
now.
I I think ooh, that's tough, man.
I'm Team Penguin.
Team Penguin? Yeah, I'm kind of leaning more towards the Penguin. I want to see this dude thrive, man. But I'm liking that kind of killer edge that Sophia's got going on right now. You know? It's kind of spicy. I dig it. I dig it.
What's your guess if she's gonna make it into the movie? Even as a small role. Does she make it out of the season?
Oh, I want to say yes so bad. You know what? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna
She's
say
gonna
yes.
make it out of the
I
season
I
into the
I
movie.
think so. Yeah, because
I
it's the crime
I
families.
can't believe you just said that.
It's the it's the
You don't have a future, kid. You don't.
it's I think the only reason why I say that is because it's the crime families, and crime families are prevalent in Batman. And you can't. And Penguin's not just the only crime family. You know, there are
Well, he's not a
others.
family. He's a goon, right?
Right. Well, I
He's
mean,
Batman's rogue gallery. The crime family's always been the Falcones and the Maronis, always,
right.
right? And he's just entrenched in the middle, and he's just trying to get what is that has to come to him. Like he's an opportunist. He's like, hey, if I have to go and cheat and steal from this guy to get the right side of this guy, then I'll do it, and then
Mhm.
he'll swap, right? And he'll keep doing that until he gets his way or his money,
Well,
right?
wasn't there a point in time in the comics that Penguin did kind of run his own thing
Well, I'm
without
sure there
answering to
was.
the families?
There's so many different versions of Penguin in the comics and different types of Batmans. I'm sure at some point stories change. It's hard with comics, right? There's so many writers and storylines that are happening all the time, especially in the last 40 years,
Right.
right? Um, but in this universe here, season, movie 2, he has to be somewhere in that capacity. He has to be involved somehow, right?
Yeah.
Whether he's not going to be the main character, but he's got to be somewhere logged into that movie. You don't take a talent like this and just say, "Well, we'll see you later," or just do your show. We'll see you later. No, no, no. You bring him in there, even if it's for 5 minutes. You bring him in there.
I think what this show is doing is it's going to add context to that movie and make it ma- have the world of Batman of this Batman expand more. Like there's other stuff going on. Like yeah, he's dealing with the crime families and the mobs and the penguins like gang, but there's also another big bad that's on the rise. I think that's what we got going on here. Is it's just world building at this point that Matt
Oh
Reeves
yeah,
is doing.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's giving more layers of Gotham,
yeah, yeah. And so
right?
I think this way it's going to impact the movie where like you're like, wait, but what about the other stuff? Well, the other stuff is probably still happening in the background, but that's not the focus right now because Batman's got bigger fish to fry at the moment.
And we'll get into my concerns. Let's finish off this episode here. So,
Mhm.
what else is going on here? We have him with his love interest, Penguin's love interest.
Yep.
She's not backing him up. She's like, "Nope, I'm not
Yep.
gonna walk away with you. I'm
He's
staying
flipping
here."
out.
Yeah, he's obviously pissed off about that. And then he asked Victor to take his mom to like a location that's well hidden
It's
to let him know,
undisclosed. Yeah.
undisclosed to anybody but him. Which Victor decides to take her back to his old hood. And you said he sort of bumped into somebody in his past.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure at first. I had to look it up again, but it was this dude named Squid, which appeared in Victor's flashback episode 3. He's the dude's like a low level drug dealer essentially, but he runs that those streets where Victor lives. And so he ran into him, like he saw him there, and he was like to Penguin's mom, like, come. And Penguin's mom was like, why are you afraid of this pussy? Like, why are you afraid of him? Like, well, you're being a wuss right now. And he's like, no, like this dude runs this area. Like, we gotta get going. And I have a feeling that is gonna
It's
come into play.
foreshadowing something.
I think Victor's gonna run on him. Like, he's gonna run up on him and just like put the work on him. That's what I'm thinking.
And I cannot wait.
Yeah. Yeah. The boy is evolving. He is growing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a growing a pair, as
Mhm.
they like to say. He's
Yep.
growing a pair. It's
Yep.
okay. It's okay. Let him grow a pair. So the mom gets there, and the mom is like sort of losing it. She's in and out.
Yep.
You know, like she's obviously got Alzheimer's and is forgetting things. Left the stove on. Victor almost burnt himself, or probably did burn himself.
Yeah.
Anyways, gets to that dump, and she does call it a dump.
Because
She's
didn't she
sleeping there.
say that they lived in an apartment similar to
No,
that?
Oz said it.
Oh, okay.
Victor
Okay.
asked him about his past. So this is the interesting part of Victor, because Victor went to see his mom, and he was basically sleeping next to her and talking to her, comforting her, and she's like, "Get off me! I don't want to talk to you. I
Can't
wish."
even take care of your own mother. You can't
Yeah,
take care of your own mother.
yeah. And then Oz tells Victor about his brothers.
Yeah, which we didn't have any background to. We only saw pictures of early in
Yes.
the season. Yeah.
So he had brothers that died. I don't know if he disclosed. I can't remember what he said.
Did he say they died, or was it just? Well,
He
he
said
said
he
the
couldn't.
city.
No, he said he was helpless. He couldn't. He was too weak to look after them. That's what he was saying.
Okay,
So
because
I
he
think
said the city took him.
his disability prevented him to take care of his brothers. They were. I feel like they were a crime family, or they were like a thug family, because
Yeah,
the mother got really excited.
some bruisers. They were bruisers. I feel is what they
Yeah,
were. Yeah.
yeah. And so the brothers got killed, and because he has this, disability, he wasn't able to be with the streets or something.
Yep.
Couldn't take care of him, and the mother resents him for that,
Yep.
which I think is unfair to put it on him.
Yeah. I don't know if this is like. I swear I've seen a lot of like movies with Italian tropes like that, where the mother beats the crap out of them and verbally, not physically, but verbally beats
Yeah,
the crap out of them when they do like one sort of screw up, man.
and this also would explain why he's very adamant to prove to everybody that don't underestimate him,
Yeah.
because he's probably had that all along growing up, where his mom thought nothing of him, right? Like, you're not going to amount to anything. And so it's not just, remember in the beginning, he was talking about how he grew up and he was nothing. He used to get beat up.
Yep.
So I just feel like this is coming full circle, where he had abuse in the house and abuse outside.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
this is sort of adding the context to him of why he's like this, and why he only thinks about himself and his mother.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
And why I think this also should be an awakening for Victor, if it wasn't already, that he will put a bullet in his head anytime he wants.
Yeah. It's
If I'm Victor, I'm going, oh, this guy might just kill me whenever he wants to, because he genuinely doesn't care about nobody else but his mom.
although maybe I don't know if he thinks that way anymore with what happened at the club in the last episode. You know,
No,
because
no. Here's the thing, though. Even though Penguin got saved by him, he got saved by him, or he got helped by him. Remember when he was getting killed by Sophia with the rope, with the string? Remember, and Victor came and saved him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Victor could save him a million times. He doesn't care. He'll pretend to care. He'll give him a nice spiel, like a nice sentence. You did good, kid, or give him some money and said, you got a future here. Well, he just all does that because he just uses people. That's all he does. In my opinion, he doesn't care about anybody. Like I said, Victor's just another pawn, right? Just another
Okay.
pawn that he gets to use. And when he's done with, get out of my way. I don't care. He's like, that's the thing that a lot of people see this character, and he's also putting the acting charm on people who are watching, thinking Penguin's got a heart. Penguin don't care.
I like to think Penguin has a heart. Okay.
There's no chance. No chance. No chance.
I just want my boy to be good.
You understand the trouble it is to run Gotham? You want me to have a heart? Forget it, kid. I don't got a heart.
Well, I mean, the
You want a heart?
part of the reason why I kind of think that though is in this episode, it was the second time he brought up that mobster that used to like run his streets that people loved. That's part of like
What's
something.
it's a narcissist type of thinking too. I want to be loved by people, but I'm going to screw everybody else to do it.
Mhm.
Right? There's
Yeah,
different types of narcissism, and this is one of them. The Penguin character is that, right?
right.
People are beneath me. When I need them, they're my friends, they're my equal. But after that, they're still beneath me. I don't care. I want to be the best.
He wants to be loved. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yep. He wants
So
to be loved.
Sophia on her side basically goes to. So she basically goes to her. She has a sit down
With Maroney.
with. Well, no, she has
Are you talking about the one before that?
before that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, wait. Let me go back to one other scene. So after the conversation with Maroney's wife and husband, sorry, Maroney and his wife, Penguin leaves, gives the money. We have the next part where he, captures the son, sorry, captures the gun before that, and says, "Okay, let's meet up." So the mom meets him at a
Ooh,
warehouse,
yes, the
right?
warehouse.
Warehouse. They've got the mushrooms, the shrooms. They show up there. The Maronis decide to. I don't understand why they would do this. I don't get it.
Are you talking about the trap scene?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why they would attack him when they could have accidentally killed the son too. They were shooting bullets everywhere.
They they were. Well, I mean, he was already kind of at that side, so they were flying bullets on the other
Yeah,
side.
but do you want them to shoot your son,
By
Penguin
accident,
and his
no, that'd
henchman?
be
Yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah.
no, Penguin and the henchman.
Oh, I see what you're saying. When he was, yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, yeah.
They're not in, like
No,
they
no.
weren't in a safe locale. They were standing 20 feet away.
Yeah, that was a little odd that they decided to go. That Penguin even decided to agree to meet them at a warehouse. First off, I thought that was kind of a weird thing.
And with
I
only
thought he'd be,
one person,
yeah,
with him, and allowed her to have one person, which she didn't. She had more than one.
yeah,
Um, but there was a stairway leading up to the room upstairs. She could have took him upstairs,
hmm,
said, "Hey, when we leave, then you can have the shrooms." But then what could happen was those guys came out and started firing. That would have made more sense.
yes,
Because
like
what's stopping Oswald from his Mac 10 that he had in his hand, right? Or an Uzi, and just spraying them all.
also it was kind of a bad plan because they only brought them in the building. Why wouldn't you have people outside of the building surrounding it?
Well, they closed the door.
Yeah, well, yeah,
No,
exactly.
no, they thought that by closing the door, they trapped him. That's what it was.
Idiots,
But here's
idiots.
the thing, though. As you can see from the picture here, right? He always carries a lighter. And I
Yep.
thought this was a badass moment where he goes bling and goes like that and just flicks it. And we all thought it was water that he was
That's what
drowning.
I thought too, man.
My other thing is, why didn't the mom smell gasoline on him?
Yeah, right. That was
He
so
was
that
drenched in gasoline.
I mean, okay, so there was a little bit of
You're playing
oversight on the
devil's
writer's
advocate?
parts. Little bit of
Okay.
oversight on the
Okay.
writer's part there, right? So, like, yeah, you're not smelling gasoline. I mean, even kerosene has like a smell to it, was so
Anything besides water will have a smell to it.
right?
Alcohol has a smell to it.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Like it could have been vodka, but even vodka's got some sort of a
Every
smell.
type of alcohol, you'll smell it.
Yeah. So I don't know. That maybe was definitely an oversight on the writer's part.
It was cool,
Was
but
a
once I saw it go into flames, literally, the people, I'm like, wait a minute. How did she not smell that on her son? She's
yeah.
literally hugging the son.
Yeah, because what he dropped the matches, fire, so she was like, "Oh no, fire!" And then she tried to like make him run or move him. I'm like,
No, she's still hugging him like, bitch, get off your son. You're gonna go on fire too.
And she
She's like,
did.
"No, I have flame retardant outfit. This is Gucci."
Nah, she did. She went up and like she was like burning like a star, dude. And the way they burnt too, they just kind of like things were falling off
That
of
was a
them and
quick burn.
stuff.
That was a quick burn.
Yeah, man. I was like, that's crazy, son. I
I
guess they
mean,
needed
I'm
to do
not
it quick.
familiar. Maybe somebody out there who's an experienced person in terms of types of flammables that don't
Mhm.
smell. Let us know in the comment section if there's
Yeah.
flammable that you know that doesn't smell. Because
And
I
that
sure as
burns
hell
that
don't.
quickly
And
because
yeah,
they
really
burn
quickly.
fast, dude.
And remember, it's not sprayed on. This is liquid because he was
Yeah.
dripping in it. I know
That
there's aerosol sprays you can spray that won't smell. They're aerosols,
yeah.
but this was liquid. So keep
Yeah.
that in mind. It was not like an evaporated spray,
Yeah.
right? So that right there is just like perpetual. But anyways, that happens. They go into dust. They get away with it. But the thing is, the place went up to flames, and some of the mushrooms sort of
You got
disintegrated.
yeah, because I think it was because of the stuff that was coming down,
The water.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought Oz knew better than that too, like, you
Well, I
they
think he was
even
just trying to get out of there because he was getting bullets at him, right?
true, but they also told him, like, "Hey, these" like, or Sophia told them, or the gardener told him that, like, "Hey, these things are very delicate, you touch one, the whole thing is screwed. You're screwing the whole pooch on this thing."
Yeah.
So I'm like, you would wanna be a little bit more careful with your product, especially if that's what's gonna make you your money.
Well, and he ended up with only two buckets because the rest was just all garbage.
Yeah.
And they all got screwed. And so he took it to a abandoned, I guess, yard or something, and told his boys to take these two. And he's just like, "How the heck am I going to get more?" Which we'll find out later on how,
Yep.
because they need a certain conditioned type of place to do it, right?
Yep.
Um, Meanwhile, on the other side of the story, Sophia is basically sitting at the head of the table. She obviously kept Johnny alive. We saw him in the last episode still alive
Yep.
for a reason because she needs a right hand man. But I think more importantly, she needs somebody who knows the low level henchman who will listen to him and then
Yes.
in return give her respect because she's
Yeah.
not the main boss, right?
Yeah.
Which is smart on her play, and that makes sense because she was to walk up to these low henchmen. They have no credibility, no honesty, no nothing with her, no loyalty, and they'll tell her to F off. We don't care, right?
Yeah.
So she is standing there and talking about how changing the name, and
But that wasn't
Johnny.
the only reason why she kept him alive, though.
What was the other reason?
He told her about his mom, about her mom.
Oh, okay. You saying that she kept
I
her
think that
him alive because of the loyalty of the
I
story?
to the mom, yeah.
I thought she didn't care. She's like, I don't believe you.
See, I like to think like I know
Okay.
she said that, but I like to think that it played a little bit of a part because he did say that the first time she tried to get away, he had a car ready for her to take off, but she never
Mm.
ended up showing up.
But she also could say that you're full of shit. Why should I trust you? Right?
True.
Because
Yeah.
she's already been burned enough times here, right? So,
True.
but yeah, that could be a possibility why she kept her, but it
The
didn't really matter that long.
no.
Um, the main thing she said was she spilled the beans to everybody that I killed everybody in the family.
She was like, "Elephant in the room, guys.
Yeah,
It
she's
was
like,
me. I did it."
surprise, Yahtzee. Right? I killed everybody, and they're all just like, "What?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah, I sort of did that."
Mhm.
Anyways, you want to listen to me now? And they're like, "Oh, okay, okay." It's right. So, and then Johnny's sort of like, and I'm just, I'm sitting there. I'm like, Johnny, just shut up. Johnny, shut up. You're
Yeah,
gonna
he was
get one,
like
Johnny.
he's
I'm
te
rooting for Johnny because I'm like, dude, just shut up.
he's telling her like, "Hey, you need to calm down. We're gonna handle the family business. Like, it will happen." And she's just like, "No, that's not the family business anymore. Pop."
And I'm just
Like,
like, Johnny, what are you doing? You're gonna get killed. And sure enough, she picks up the magnum and goes boom. And everyone's just like, what?
so they were all like,
I'm
"All right,
surprised
she's serious."
the blood didn't spray all over her.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would have liked to have a couple
yeah.
of dots of blood on her side.
It got on I don't think it even got on any of the other people
No, that
behind
was a
him.
straight shot. It got stuck in the brain, I think.
Yeah. That
Because
was pretty close.
he bled out on the table.
Yep.
and she takes a duffel bag full of money and throws it in the butt. I'm like, oh, come on, really?
And they
Now
pick
we're
it up
gonna,
too.
yeah, you guys are disgusting.
Yeah. I was like,
Ugh.
they could just wash it off later, I
I
guess,
mean,
you
the
know?
whole new meaning of blood money, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yep, it was.
I was like, okay, all right. Well, the street level thugs, they've touched dirtier things,
True. Yes, they
right?
have. You know they have.
Uh, so they basically are loyal to her now, and obviously she's put a bullet to someone's head, and they're like, okay, yeah, so we better listen to her, which I think was a power move.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, I mean, she also gave her grand speech about, hey, it's no longer the Falcons. We the Gigante family now.
and
And in the
everybody's a
Gigante
family.
family,
Everyone
yep,
eats
exactly.
together, at
Yep.
the table, which I think was so smart of her because
Mhm.
how else are you going to get these thugs to believe in you and trust you right off the bat,
Exactly.
right? And
You need
she's
to
like,
build
you're
a
gonna,
loyalty base, right?
yeah, she's like, my father and the upper part of the Falcone family always kept more from themselves and gave you guys nothing when you guys were doing all the work. It's only fair you guys get yours, right?
Mhm.
And so she did that with the duffel bag of money. Now, that's one part of her plan. The second part is now, how do I add to it? And so
Yeah.
she goes to prison. No, she doesn't go to
No,
prison. Sorry. Falcone, sorry,
the
Maroney.
no, the scene
Yeah.
goes to prison and Maroney gets stabbed by one of the guards.
Right
Yeah.
there. Yeah. The guard that, Oswald paid off
Yeah.
stabs him good. Now we think he's gone. He's
Oh
good.
yeah. Because that they cut that scene and went on. They moved on to the next scene right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so later on, we find out that there's a phone call that happens to Oswald because where was Oz when he got the phone call?
He was. Where was he?
Did he leave the girlfriend's house?
He did leave the girlfriend's house. Yes, he left the girlfriend's house.
Oh, he got the call when he was parked the car there outside, right?
Yes.
Because he's like, "Hey, you sure?" Because remember, Maroney's like, "I'm coming to get you," right? And he's like, "You might want to check up on your wife."
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
right. That's right.
"Oh,
That's right. That's right.
damn." I was like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit!"
A
You might
wife
want to
and
give your
kid.
wife a call if you think you got me.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, damn."
That was a goddamn power move.
Yeah.
That was a power
Checkmate.
move. Yeah.
Uh,
Homie lost it.
so Maroney's basically attending to his wounds, and in walks in. Well, before she walks in, a couple bullets bounce off some heads. And she walks in. She's like, "We're no longer the Falcons, we're the Gigantes. I'm running things, but I want you to be partners up with me because the two of us,
Have a
we can
common
run.
enemy now.
We have a common enemy, but we can run Gotham now. All the
Yep.
two of us can take the town, basically."
Yeah.
And you have Maroney sitting there. Well, if I got nothing else to do, my wife and kid are dead now, right? I
And
might
he
as well.
really doesn't like the Penguin. I don't think he cared about really running the city. I think he wanted more the revenge with the Penguin. And
Well, it's all
since
about that now. You killed my wife
yeah.
and kid, so now I'm gonna do whatever it takes to put a bullet in your head,
Mhm.
right? And in walks in somebody who's has got the manpower,
Yep.
right? The resources to get this guy on even playing fields,
And
and so
understands how Oz works too.
or even knows where Oz might be.
Yep.
And so I'm fully expecting that partnership to happen next episode because they kind of cut it off, didn't really let him say stuff.
Yep.
But 100% I see them as partners next episode. And so we get to the end part of it all where he's at his the hideout place with his mom and Victor, and he empties a bunch of coins and he sees a old Gotham trolley coin, and it gives him an idea of a place. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, here we go. I knew right away when I saw that. I'm like, this is the next stage.
Yep.
And sure enough, this is the Penguins layout eventually.
Yeah. This is
They're
where
gonna,
his empire starts to build.
yeah, and he's gonna
Yeah.
start, and he says a line that's like, "Kid, don't worry about it. They're not gonna be. They'll be looking so high. They're never gonna look down. Right? They're not gonna find them
Yeah.
there because they never will look them at an abandoned old tunnel. They're
No.
not gonna look them there. They're
In
gonna
a
look for
destroyed
skyscraper.
city in
Yeah,
a destroyed city of all places too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
No,
not
sorry, not a destroyed city, but a destroyed
district,
part of Gotham City.
a
Yeah,
district.
the
Yeah,
district. Yeah,
yeah. That place is a dump. They're not gonna
yeah.
go there. And so
This alludes to his gangster dude that he's been talking about that people look up to. He's gonna build it from there and rebuild that. Ooh, nice. Okay, that's what's gonna happen.
absolutely brilliant,
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. And I just love the whole thing that they're gonna build it there. And he's also said, "Hey, it's a great place to do what, Victor?" Victor goes,
grow
"Shoo."
mushrooms.
Yes.
Yep.
You see, kid, I always got a plan, kid.
It's damp, it's moist, it's the
Yeah,
perfect environment for mushrooms to grow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute
It's
genius.
that drug is interesting though that they use at Arkham because they say it's to like
Didn't
when they
it look familiar? Red?
a little bit like they said it makes them happy and take off to another place. Part of me was like,
I think because she's the one that know about this drug. I think she's the one that probably found out about it in prison.
mhm.
And this
Well, that was
doctor, the
that
Theo
was the
Ro
one that that Magpie was eating.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying, that the doctor, Julian, could be a part of this. And at the end, remember, we see him stand there with her and go, "I wanna be part of this,"
yeah,
right? I just have a feeling that he's the one that provided this drug to her, or she knew something about this drug. There's something that we're missing, because they really tried their best to let us know this drug is red colored, right?
yeah. Do you have a? It sounds like you kind of know something.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm theorizing because I'm looking at the drug. When I saw the color red, I'm like, there's a reason why they could have picked any color. They could pick
Yeah.
blue, green, purple, I don't care, whatever, right? They picked red because I think there's connected. And I don't know if anybody knows that there's maybe a comic book storyline of this, but obviously there's a connection there from because she's the one that showed the drug to Oswald.
Hmm.
This is the type of drug that could be highly effective. So I think she knew, and she was there for 10 years in Arkham.
Right.
So I have a feeling that that's where her experience for this drug was, and she probably tweaked it, and she knows how potent it is and how effective it is because she saw all the people around her doing this drug and
Hmm.
getting high.
Hmm. And they were
So
lost in like La La Land. Like they went to a
exactly. So
whole other, yeah.
and those people are already nuts to begin with. So if you give it to the normal person, it's just going to get them high because these nutty people were able to be docile and then go into Dreamyland.
Hmm.
What a normal person is just going to feel really relaxed and loose and enjoying it, right? And you saw it at the club where they're all just like in a trance kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And Victor kind of had a trip out too for some reason, which was interesting. I was like, but he didn't take any drugs at that point, right?
No, Victor, I think had a panic attack.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
I have a weird theory. It might be a real big stretch, but that scene where he freaked out and the drugs are being passed out, and how this drug does like sends them into euphoric state. I have a weird theory. This might play into something with like the scarecrow and fear toxin.
it could be. I mean, Julian could be Scarecrow. Could use an
Change his
alias
name to
name.
Victor Crane,
Yeah, it could be an alias name, right?
right?
Or he learns his craft and then changes his name and says, "I'm the Scarecrow now. I'm Victor Crane."
Hmm.
There's a lot of potential, and he could be also one of the characters going into the movie.
Yeah.
And now
You
we're in our later part of our show here, where we theorize of the future episodes. And then we also want to talk about the problem part of it all here. So let's start with the theory of stuff. What do you think are going to happen in the next couple episodes? Obviously, big turf war.
Yeah. Well, I think what's gonna happen is I'm thinking the Gigantes and the Maronis, they're gonna start laying their claim to Gotham. Penguin's gonna start. I don't think Penguin's even gonna go near that. I think he's gonna start building his empire right there. That's what I'm seeing happening because he doesn't have the resources or the manpower to even fight them at this point. It
No,
ain't
no,
happening.
he's a low level compared to them.
Yes, but what he does have in this district is there are a bunch of thugs and hoodlums, and with his comeuppance, and his knowledge, he's going to have his recoupment there.
See, everybody else is going to focus on the upper echelons of Gotham,
Yeah.
where this guy works in the trenches in the shittiest parts of Gotham and builds his
Yes.
empire through there.
Built, yep. And he'll gain the people's trust and love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And grow from there, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we'll see Victor as his right-hand man when it comes to that too. And yeah, his mom, I feel like you might be right. His mom might get popped off
in the crosshairs, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I think that's gonna happen. But yeah, but Sophia and Salvatore, I think they'll eventually hear word.
One of them has to go.
One of them will. I think Salvatore is gonna be the one that end up going, because one, he is old. Like, Clancy Brown is old. I don't think he's gonna be sticking around for another season realistically. And Sophia's gonna be the one that takes over. What I do see happening though is eventually, as they're trying, like, while they're making their claims with the city, and they're also trying to find Penguin, because that's what they do want to find Penguin, is they'll eventually hear of this district coming up, and they'll march on their district only to be caught in a very bad gunfire, and they're going to end up getting shitted on.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a whole lot of bullets grazing back and forth.
Yeah.
I think Penguin starts growing from the shitty areas of Gotham, builds his army that way, makes alliances with the thugs. Maybe some of the thugs that she had on the table jumps ships, right?
Like the triads.
Right?
Yeah.
So they start forming, and he starts growing from there. I totally forgot about the triads. Thanks for bringing that up. Because they could be a huge addition to his alliance, right?
Yeah,
that could really tip the balance there, because he's up against it, right? I think obviously mom dies. I think, in my opinion, I think you're right. Maroni is probably going to get popped at the end, and I think Maroni gets popped by Sophia.
Ooh, interesting
plot twist.
Yeah,
I think as soon as she gets the henchmen and everybody on her side,
she did say it was time for a new family. She did say that. Yep.
I'm gonna do the Randy Orton. Yeah, you're right. I think, it'd be crazy. I just thought of something right now. It would just blow my mind at the end that the Penguin and Sophia were partners all along.
That'd be a weird, wicked twist. But they would have to explain that too, though. No, like,
okay. Let me ask you something. Did you not find the brother not really concerned about Sophia? Did you find it weird that he wasn't, like, giving it his all? How come he didn't argue with his dad?
Well, I feel like he didn't argue with his dad, because in an Italian family, you don't really go against your dad, right? Like, if you're the head of the
your
family,
sister's Alberto, your sister's in the prison.
True, but that flashback, he never really questioned his father. He was trying to be a loyal son, even though he was a screw up. Right?
What if the Penguin spins it and goes, "You know why I killed your brother, Sophia? Your brother knew you were going to be the main person. Your dad had you."
But do you think she's going to fall for that after being screwed by him twice?
Unless he has evidence, like a video or something. Alberto actually tried to screw you instead of your dad. Wasn't the one that put you in prison. Alberto did.
Interesting.
And I don't want to break your heart, Sophia. You know, I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
But when you came after me,
that would be a crazy goddamn twist, dude.
I'm just spinning it out there. I'm just
no, it would completely fair.
It could be completely not even come close to it, but hey,
yeah,
you gotta have this kind of thinking when it comes to the show,
because so far it hasn't really been all that predictable. I don't think, anyway. Like
so keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah, every episode I feel like, the story's moving along, but there's stuff that's happening that you didn't even think of.
Because I just look at the brother during that time when he's with the lawyer, and then he comes to prison to tell her, "Hey, sorry, your dad put you here forever now." I just feel like the brother could have done a lot more and said to dad, like, "What are you doing? This is my sister. This is your daughter.
Yeah,
Like, come." Like, I didn't see any of that, and maybe they put that in later episodes,
maybe.
right? Or maybe the brothers like found out that, remember, he did have a conversation with Sophia at the party about making her in charge and saying your
Yes.
brother is useless. So I'm wondering if the brother heard that, or the father had a conversation with the son, said, "Hey, you're not going to lead the next generation of Falcons. Your sister is. You're useless."
Ooh,
And
that
he
is.
put his sister in jail
But
because
he.
because
But
who
what
was
he.
going to get the family right if she was in jail? It would be him.
True, but he got like my thing is that doesn't explain how he got the rest of the family to do so. To write affidavits saying, "Yep, she did this. She's crazy." Like
What if the father was set up by the son and the rest of the family said, "Okay, we're in it because we're going to get more power."
Fa- Falcone. Oof. But the brother's an idiot. The brother's an
We're
idiot.
led to believe that.
Okay. Okay. That's
Throw the
okay.
theory
Fair.
out with the penguin knew. Let's just throw that out. That could be another theory, but this
Right.
theory makes more sense and more believable where the brother planned this whole thing,
Mm.
or the brother and the
Oof.
uncle planned this whole thing.
Just so they can get in charge.
Let's kill the father. Let's put the sister in jail, and we've got a bigger piece of the pie.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I can see that. The good old Italian screw job. Yeah.
Mamma mia, spicy meatball. I'm
Yeah.
just getting out there. Okay, let's talk about the problem here. So here's my take on this, and I want you to kind of give me your take afterwards
I
here.
got you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, DC's got a problem here, and my
Mhm.
problem with this thing is, or what I think DC has a problem with is, the show is too good. And what I mean by that is, you've got James Gunn emphatic about there will be no Batman going forward after Reeves' contract and obligations are done.
Right.
He is going to have Batman completely switched to his universe, and we're going to focus on that.
Right.
People are already clamoring for a season 2 for Penguins, but
Mhm.
there was never going to be a season 2 from what Reeves said at the beginning of it all. It was going to be a tie-in between 1 and 2,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Right.
There was thought of exploring other villains for other shows, but there was no, hey, we're going to do a season 2 and we'll see where it takes off. But this is what happens when you make a lot of money or make a lot of noise or has become really popular. Companies start looking at going, okay, how do we make more money out of this thing? People love it. Let's give them more. Let's give them more. That's what happened to Joker 2,
Right.
right? It was only supposed to be one movie, but when they made a bajillion dollars, they're like, hey, studio came calling, go make another one. I don't care. Go make another one. We want to make another bajillion dollars. Money talks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same thing with Keanu Reeves movie. What's that movie where he's
Oh, John Wick?
John Wick. They made a John Wick prequel. They're making a female John Wick. It's
The
getting out of
ballerina?
hand. Yeah, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
They should have just let it die at John Wick 4. But hey, if it makes money, let's go make some more money. I personally think the John Wick prequel just nobody cared about it. It's a fun to win now. It is. How many people are like, hey, I can't wait for season 2 to come out? Nobody's talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Nobody. Even Keanu Reeves not even talking about it.
That's fair.
Right? So this is what it is what it is, but this show being so good, if you decide to remove the show and the whole universe part of it, people are gonna get pissed at Warner Brothers. And the crazy thing about this is, and I've been keeping an eye on this, it's getting more popular as the weeks go by.
Yeah.
The show's not plateauing. More people are jumping on because word is spreading of how good this show is.
True. Well, I think the other problem I see is like people probably want to see them in the second movie. and they probably want a season 2 to kind of continue that, but I don't think they need to do that. I don't think they need to do that. This is just a layer builder for Matt Reeves' world of Batman, and they don't need to do a
But
second
it's taking a
season.
life of its own now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's the big problem here that DC has is James Gunn is probably really either very ecstatic about it or pissed off about it because he's obviously got his own thoughts and process of how he wants to develop Gotham in his big world
Right.
or big universe, right? And if this is taking away some of that luster and desire, because how many people are going to say, "Yeah, let me give me another Gotham"? Everyone's like, "No, no, no, I want this Gotham right here, this one.
Yeah.
Give me this one right now." Because this one's the one that already has things going for it,
Yeah.
right? And that's the big problem they're gonna have now. And I don't know how they're gonna sort this out. Now they could just continue going this route and saying, let's just see where it takes us years down the road. And Gun, you do your own thing here.
Well,
But
I
I
mean,
just
he did say that this universe is
it's
considered
called Elsewhere.
Elseworld. Yeah. Yeah.
Elsewhere. But the thing is, remember, he did say we're gonna nip it in the bud as soon as Reeves' contract of 3 movies are up.
Mm.
So there's a problem because what if this show is so good and people are asking for more? They're gonna give it to you because they want to
Yeah.
make a bajillion dollars again.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers are in the hole. They want to make money.
Yeah, and I think with James Gunn, like, yeah, he's in charge of that DC stuff, but he still has to answer the people that are above him. And if they say like, "Well, no, we want to keep continuing," then he has no choice. He can't
Yeah.
just override them.
Um, give me your thoughts on next episode. What do you think's gonna happen? Oh, let everybody know what's gonna happen. I'll be in a second here. What are your thoughts of episode 6 going?
Episode 6, I think we're gonna see. I think we're really gonna see an interaction between Squid and Victor, and it is gonna go down in episode 6. I don't think it's gonna go any further than that, but Victor's gonna boot stomp Squid. Is what I think is gonna happen here. We're gonna see Penguin start his operation, cleaning it up, getting the lab set up for the mushrooms, um, and starting to grow that, and slowly start to clean up that district. We're gonna have Sophia and Salvatore start bringing their families together, and it's gonna be one big crime family to start taking over Gotham. Is what we're gonna see. Um, and the mom just kind of going a little bit crazy at the same time. Uh, so it's gonna be episode 6. I think that's what we're gonna end up seeing. I know when Elvin gets back, he said he saw a little bit of a cameo that might have been interesting. So I'm curious as to what that cameo is. Um, but yeah, I think episode 6 is really gonna pop off, guys. And then the last two episodes, 7, 8, where we might see some territory wars happen. Like the crime family territory wars are gonna happen between them. With Penguin just kind of picking up the scraps and claiming ownership to the rest of Gotham is what we're gonna see. So I'm curious as to where it's really gonna go. If I'm right or wrong, I don't know, but I'm hoping they're gonna go with what I said.
How many episodes this season?
8.
So 3 to go. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I just honestly I love the show. It's so good. It's a bit of Soprano. It's a bit of, it's a typical, but not how do I say this? It's got some, elements of typical gangster TV shows or
Yep.
movies. Like when I was saying to you when he was meeting Victor at the place there, I knew what line he's going to say before he said it. He's like, "You did good, kid." You know, you just know he's going to say that because that's a character that are seeing now.
Yeah.
But it's also a typical line that a lot of gangster type of movies or TV shows will spit out, which is fine. This is
Mhm.
it is. What it is. This show is supposed to be a very gangster approached, right? Uh, I honestly think it's just I love when you see a random TV show. I shouldn't say random, but a TV show that you didn't expect to surge so high real fast to garner attention the way this show, and I love that. right, of what the show did. Because the expectations, I said, like going into it, it wasn't that much. I didn't care.
Well, I don't think we expected it to be as ruthless as it was, because I feel
Well,
like we haven't
Gotham
really.
is ruthless, but what I mean is, I didn't expect this show to be that good in terms of writing, acting, the cinematography. Everything is just really well done.
Yeah.
It's like watching an extension of the Batman movie.
And your sense of location, you know,
Thank you.
the sense of
Didn't get that
location.
from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. The sense of location plays a big part because you feel like you know where they are in Gotham. You really do it.
Because every environment is unique.
It's different.
From his mom's house to the Falcone's house, it's vastly different. Gotham.
Yep.
You got the poor slums,
Yep.
and then you got the upper echelon neighborhoods.
And you got the suburbs where his mom lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And now we're gonna have another location, right? The Penguin's lair,
Yep.
which is gonna add another element to it. I can't wait for them to like pimp that out in the trailer. So I was telling you that in they do a trailer after the end credits. The credits for HBO TV shows. They show them building the lair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, they're doing like machinery work and they're fixing things up.
This is literally what I just said. What my prediction for the next episode was going to be when you took off.
I'm sorry I missed that. Let's give I know we didn't do the other episodes, but let's give episode 5 out of 10. What do you think? Sorry, out of 10, not 5 out of 10, out of 10.
So I'm gonna give this one an 8.5, just because the first half, I said this to you earlier. The first half of the show, it felt slow, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be a slow down episode because of what happened last time. But then the second half hit, and I was like, it really picked up, and I was like, okay, the whole setting people on fire and like the family's coming together and her taking to Chicago. I was like, okay, it got better for me from that point. So that's why I'm giving it an 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give this a 9 out of 10. This was my
Nice.
favorite episode. Last week's was my second favorite, but they're very close. I'm going to have to give this a 9. And man, I'm looking forward to Sundays. I'm looking forward to doing this show right after this show ends.
Yeah.
And we're going to be here for all of you guys every Sunday right after the show, an hour after the show ends. So you can have an hour to get your drinks or your snacks and cool down from an awesome show. And then join us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be doing the show, The Mighty Show review of episode 6 next week. So anything else you want to add before we sign off for today?
If you haven't watched it, start watching. I don't care how you watch it.
Just go watch it. Go watch it.
The show's too good, man. The show, if you're sleeping on it, don't sleep on it.
Don't do it. Don't sleep
good
on our
story
show.
progression.
Yeah,
good character progression. Like
boom.
Everything.
Everything is on point with the show. Yeah. 9 out of 10. I just gave it.
Yeah.
I don't like to give those marks. Anyways, signing off for us today. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Make sure to like and subscribe. Help us out here. Hit the subscribe button because I'd love to see you guys come on here. And definitely leave comments below what you're thinking of the show. What'd you guys give it out of 10?
Yes.
Goodbye. Say bye.
Peace.
Take care.